mountain that goes. It's a mountain that, okay, you can picture a mountain, but it's not really a mountain. It's like a fucking mine shaft dug into it, like a cave, and then rooms, separate room, and then there's air holes, right, going all the way down 15 stories. There's over 10,000 air vents to bring air to the bottom of the chambers. They don't even know how they don't even know how they did it, dog. There's over 10,000 air vents going 15 fucking chambers down in this fucking room, like 15 stories, dog. When I say stories, I mean like a 15-story fucking building, dog, upside down underneath the earth, like going down bottom ways, not top, you know what I mean, like in the ground. Like that shit's fucking, man, they couldn't even build something like that today because they said that the shit was so like perfect, man, like it was just so perfect, like we don't even know how, like what if there was like, well, look, you see, there's this place. Well, look, nah, you right though, you right. There's not like beautiful ass fucking places being built now, like back in the day, like Coliseums and fucking like whatever, you know. I know what you're doing. You right, bro. You are right. But like this place called the Temple of Jupiter, I think it's called, that. Everybody thought the Greeks built it or the Romans, or one of them, the Greeks or the Romans built it. But basically they got this temple, right? Okay, the Greeks or the Romans built it. We know that they built it. But this is what's funny. The temple is sitting on top of another, like a temple, right? And then these blocks are so fucking big that they don't even know how the Greeks and the Romans moved the shit, dog. They're like, no way, bro. There's no way that the Greeks and the Romans. These are like basically support, like basically, these blocks are so big that human beings couldn't do it, bro. Humans just couldn't do it because basically, like, there's just no way, man. You gotta be able to lift it and get it on trees. Like, it don't even make sense, man, to me. Well, nah, they had some type of technology, bro. I think there was some type of, like, different technology that, this is what I said when life probably happened twice, man, because you can tell that something, you can tell just by looking at, like, the precision cuts in the pyramids, like how they have laser cuts. They found old fucking airplanes inside the pyramids and shit, like little kid, like a little kid wooden airplane. This is back, like, thousands of years ago, that 2,000 years ago, the pyramids made. They found toy airplanes that they said, oh, well, they're probably just representations of birds, but they're like, why would a bird have a rudder on the back? And there's actually like a fucking rudder on the back of the junk. And it's like, damn, that shit's crazy. And this is 2000, you know what I mean? Shit that they found that's like 2,000 years old. So then you can look at that. Let me see what you sent me. Yeah, there's. I would have to check. I would have to look at it or whatever. But like, there's a lot of that, a lot of weird shit. Yeah, that looks like the place I'm talking about right there. What you sent me. You want it? It's like so cool if you look at it from far back. Like these, the way that they did all their construction, man, is just awesome, man. It's really awesome. But then when you get closer, it's even more awesome when you get closer, because then you see how close the rocks are fitting together. And it's like, a lot of the things that they talk about, they're like, oh, these are supposed to be a Bronze Age people. How do they cut these rocks that are tensile strength of 8? When diamond is 10, these rocks are 8. And then they only have 6. They have bronze tools of 6. So they can't use bronze tools to cut rocks that are tensile strength of 8 because you'll break your bronze tools. So they tried to say, oh, they must have either had meteorite tools or diamond tools to cut these rocks and shit. And not only that, there's like evidence. Well, not only that, look, you gotta look at up close pictures of the walls, man. Like there's like polygonal shapes, bro, and like they're like melted together. The rocks are like melted together. Like that's what they say, that it looks like the rocks were all gel at one time. They think the rocks were some type of love. I don't know if they think that. One of the theories were like that the rocks, they had a way to heat the rocks up or whatever and kind of like melt them or whatever a little bit, and then you heat them up so much that they melt together almost perfectly. That was like a theory or whatever, but Well, you gotta look at the evidence, man. You gotta look at the fucking videos and you gotta look at the walls and the polygonal shapes, and then explain to yourself, how could a fucking human being make these rocks go together like that back 2,000 years ago? How the fuck could they do that with no technology, no tools, no nothing? You just got humans and fucking some type of tools, man. But then, so this is real quick. Let me just finish up what I'm saying. All right. I'm going back and forth a little bit because this is how my brain starts ticking when I start thinking about shit I'm interested in. Well, the Temple of Jupiter, they were trying to say that the Greeks and Romans made it. They have these columns, these like fucking pillar. Okay, this is what it is. You know how like on Konetic, how you have like those obelisk. You know what an obelisk is? All right. Yeah, an obelisk. This is funny that I can like tell you what I'm talking about through the game or whatever. Well, basically they have like these fucking pillars or whatever, and obelisks and shit that are just huge, man. That like, it's almost hard to believe that humans even built those, but apparently humans built those. They think that they did build those. Now, the support beams that everything's sitting on, these are what I'm talking about. These are massive 100,000-ton stones that we don't even know how they were cut, how they were quarried, how they were moved and put into the location, right? So they think that the Romans found the shit 1,500 years ago and then built on top of the shit. That's what they think, and they stole the shit. They stole it and said, oh, we built this, alright? And even though they didn't really build, they built some of it, but not everything somehow. Now, you don't have to believe that, or you can believe. Yeah, but they say that with the pyramids too. They think that the Egyptians didn't even build the pyramids because they did the math. They said that, okay, the pyramids were built in 10 years by slaves, by 100,000 slaves or something, but with there's over like 2 million 10-ton stones blocks, or maybe they're like 50 tons. There's a 2 million stones, bro. They did the fucking math and they said that it would have took way longer than 10 years. Like, they said that they would have had to cut and quarry a stone every minute for like 10 years straight, basically, to do it in the time that the Egyptians said that they were actually built. So they think that the Egyptians basically lied about even building the pyramids because, like, we did the dimensions on the biggest one. They have all this shit written down in records and hieroglyphics. Everything's wrote down, and they try to say, oh, the pyramids were built in 10 years by 100,000 slaves, bang, bang, boom. This is what you have to understand. We think that they found the pyramids. We don't even know how they did this precision cuts and the way that they put everything together the way that they did. It don't make sense, man. Like, they had to have some type of technology, so. And look, there's all. Last thing I'm gonna say, alright, the Anunnaki, I don't know if I believe in like Anunnaki and then this culture called Sumerians or whatever, but there was like basically like alright, you can picture it like this, like a demigod race. There was like supposedly like a god race or whatever that was on the earth or whatever. You can kind of picture it like when you see like Nefertiti's skull, like how she had an elongated skull, like her head was like fucking real long and shit like that. Well, basically they did her bust of her head, and look, there was another guy too that had an elongated skull like that. The whole family had a big long skull like that. So maybe they were aliens or weren't or whatever, I don't know. But they said that look, there was like a cataclysmic thing that happened here 12,000 years ago, and then this whole fucking race of people left off the planet. They just left. And they were like, man, this is too fucked up, we're leaving or whatever. And look, we had like all this extinction happen, elephants here. Like, basically, man, in the United States, man, there was like elephants and shit, man, like thousands of elephants and all these different creatures and shit that got fucking extinct just 12,000 years ago, not fucking like a billion years ago. This is 12,000 years ago or whatever. So then there was the Ice Age, right? Now listen to this, I'm gonna say the last thing to trip your mind real quick. There was 2 miles of ice going across the whole United States, halfway across the United States. There was 2 miles of ice built from the ground all the way up to the top. 2 miles ice. Everything was wiped out. They were saying whatever was underneath it got destroyed because of the weight of the ice or whatever, and then eventually the ice started melting and receding back. Now that's kind of hard to believe that there was 2 miles of ice, but somehow this is how they figured it out. The Great Lakes, the 5 Great Lakes, they were like, how were the Great Lakes formed? Okay, well, they were formed by fucking icebergs, man. They were formed by icebergs or something going across the fucking earth, man. I don't even understand how that shit happens too. Now that I'm thinking about it, man, that shit don't even make sense. It don't even make sense, man. But anyway, now I just wanted to trip your mind. If you ever watch Ancient Aliens, man, some of the shit that I just said you'll probably see on there. Cause I watched a whole season of that the other night. I watched the whole season 1.
Yeah, like I got season 1.
Well, I like Ancient Aliens because they kind of bounce back and forth too, though. Like, I know, like, I watch other shit besides Ancient Aliens because that is kind of like a TV show, and they try to say that they're trying to get people to watch the show or whatever. So they're giving you facts, but they're giving you facts beefed up a little bit, souped up facts. Like, if you want to, like, watch real facts, man, like, there is real fucking, like, laser-guided precision cuts, bro. Like, you can put a fucking roller going down these fucking blocks, and, like, it's, like, perfectly fucking cut, and it's, like, how do you fucking cut stone like that, you know? Like, perfect. So, not only that, they have these tube drills, man. They're called tube drills, and they have these, like, fucking circular holes through all these, like, big-ass massive stones. And there's like circular holes going through the stones, right, all the way through them. The stones are like drilled out with the drill, and you can tell that it's a perfectly fucking drilled drill. It's not like somebody took something and this is really mind-boggling. The more I think about it, man, the more it's almost like, damn, man, like I do believe that human beings were like covered around the whole world. I think we were basically covered around the whole earth. I think that everybody was communicating with everybody just like they are now. I think it was just like it is now, but it was different technology and different shit. I don't think there was computers and that type of shit, man. I think that, so if there was some type of plane or something, man, that's kind of weird, man. I don't know what to say about those fucking Egyptian airplane shit we found. But if you've seen the picture of it, it would make you question a lot of shit. You'd be like, what the fuck? And then they found these big ass fucking sarcophaguses underneath the big pyramid and shit. Like there's fucking like these 6 of them. There's like 6 big, and they're not. And look, the rock that they're cut with, yo. This is what's so crazy. Man, there was just enough room to get these fucking things in there, with like no room for error at all. Like there's like no extra room. It's so weird how we can cut and quarry these fucking granite fucking sarcophaguses, move them, get them to the fucking proper location that they need to be at, get them all the way underneath the pyramid into the rooms. Because this is rock that's cut from like mountains from like way further away from the other quarry, like, and it's just different rock, so it's better rock. It's like polished granite shit that they used to put like this. They really don't know what you put in there. They tried to say that they buried bulls in there or whatever, and they don't know why the tops were all falling off or whatever when they went down there. These are like fucking 2,000-ton fucking rocks. They're huge fucking sarcophaguses for like a giant, bro, for like people like 2 times the size of me and you. So they're trying to like say, oh, well, they're like, oh, well, that's because they were the Pharaoh's bulls or whatever they tried to say. Like they were trying to say that they buried the bulls in there, but they didn't. There was like one of them that I think did have a. But by the time we opened them up, like a real bull, like a fucking I guess like a, well, somehow they had bulls in Egypt. Yeah, they had bulls, like basically like maybe not the same type of bull like in Mexico, but like it was some type of bull. But either way, that's just what they say, man. Like, when you think about it, man, there probably was, like, some type of fucking race of beings, man. Like, cause, look, they found these little fucking sculptures, too. They were, like, lizard people or whatever, like, lizard faces, man. Like, they found these old-ass sculptures. Like, either somebody had a weird-ass fucking sense of humor, bro. Like, somebody was fucking a little bit different back in the day. That's all I can say, man, for making some shit like that, bro. And then, look, they made some other shit, too. They found other shit that looked like ancient astronauts, bro. They were fucking ancient fucking sculptures, and they looked like a picture of It was like a person inside of like a. Yeah, bro. There's like some real weird shit, and then they had this fucking Into the Mountain. Or is it the one when he's like when he's like all right? Are you talking about the one that's on the side of the mountain? It's like a big ass fucking person on the side of the mountain. And yeah, there's some weird shit, man. Oh, here's one weird one. The ancient Sumerians, right? They have these fucking like old pictures that you can look at, right? Where there's like this guy that's supposed to be like a god or whatever. He's like a god being him in a chair, right? Then you have like this little monkey with his tails, right? Well, then the whole tail is like mixed up. He makes some DNA with like monkey DNA and created humans or whatever, and that's kind of like basically like what this whole tale is all about, right? And then they show this old ass picture of, and they know the planets too. That's what's so weird. It shows 9 planets going around the sun, bro. And it's like 9 planets going around the sun. And it's like this guy sitting in a chair with these fucking. Like, how would they even know that shit 2,000 years ago, bro? That they didn't have telescopes to go fucking like the year. Look, there was supposedly another planet or whatever, like, never mind, I'm not gonna get into all that, because you would literally have to sit there and like, look at, you just need to type in like the Anunnaki when you're bored one day, type in the Anunnaki and ancient. Like, if you are